What up, Elden Ring video? This is my Frost Mage build or Ice Mage build, and this is a lot of fun to play with. So I don't normally play through the whole game with this build because it's obviously not going to be as strong, but it is fun if you want to try. I've done the first area. I am on New Game +3 and probably played like, I don't know, a third of the last game with this build. It's a lot of fun. I'll show you what I am using right here if you're interested in trying out something like this. I do have a female character just because I feel like wearing the gown looks, I don't know, whatever. If you want to be a male and wear it, it's fine. But, you know, she has the skirt, the Snow Witch robe, the Snow Witch hat, and then the gloves. I just have the Spell Blade glove. I don't think Ranni has any gloves in here. You could use what you want. I just thought the Spell Blade glove looked kind of cool on her. As far as weaponry, of course, we're going to use the Dark Moon Greatsword. I have this up to +10. You see the damage that it does. This does cost Frost buildup. The whole idea behind this particular build is we want to apply Frost damage. So with that said, I have the Carian Regal Scepter. This is going to boost Full Moon Sorcery. I'll talk about that in a second and why I'm using this particular staff or scepter versus the other ones. And then we have the Dragon Communion Seal. Now, there is one incantation that I use, but there are two that you could use if you wanted to. And then I have the Longsword. Now, this one right here, I'm just going to show you real quick. You could use a dagger, you could use a short sword, or you could use a longsword. You just can't have an item that has an effect on it. Like, as an example, like the Dark Moon Greatsword, I can't use that because it already has something embedded into it. It doesn't allow me to use that. But like these items right here, they don't have like a special, let me just, you know, they don't have any like special skill to it. Well, it has quick step, and this one has kick. But like you look right here, this has the Carian Grandeur. This one has the Moonlight Greatsword, unique skill. This doesn't have like any unique skill. So basically, I think it's any weapon that you can level up to like +25 you could probably use. But I know the long sword, short sword, and dagger will be able to apply the effect that I'll talk about. Now, as far as talisman, I have the Graven School Talisman and the Graven Mass Talisman because we are a mage, so I want to increase the potency of my sorcery. And then I have the Carian Amber Medallion +2 to give me maximum FP, or vastly raise maximum FP. You could also use something like the Scorpion Magic Charm to give you more damage. I believe that gives you like 10% more if you wanted to. Now, right here, I have the 2-finger heirloom to raise faith because for this particular build, I need +25 faith. I am high level, so some of these items, maybe if you're lower level, you stop at 150, you're going to have to rearrange some of your attribute points or whatever. I feel like you definitely want intelligence at 80. Whatever else you want to put into this build, it's totally on to you, but you do need 25 faith, but you can get that, you know, if you have it up, I think to around, I think this gives me +6, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just see here. Yeah, it gives me +5. Okay, so we got +5 right there. But anyway, let's come in here to the items. So first up, we're going to use Ranni's Dark Moon. And this is where the Carian Regal Scepter comes into play because it will boost the damage of this particular item. Now, you are getting, I think, 10%. But when you have Ranni's Snow Witch hat on, you also get 10% of as well. So I'm getting 20% damage when I use Ranni's Dark Moon. You could also use Renala's Dark Moon, and I believe you only get 10% with that. So that's why you want to use the Snow Witch hat. Even if you don't use the rest of the outfit, definitely have that, and the Carian Regal Scepter. And then next up, we have Adula's Moonblade. This right here is an area of effect damage. It's kind of like the Carian Greatsword, but it does frost damage. So we like that. And next up, we're going to have Zamor's Ice Storm. Now, both of those, the Adula's Moonblade and Zamor's Ice Storm, you are also going to get damage of +10 with the Snow Witch hat. So just keep that in mind, as well as the Glintstone Icecrag. And we're going to be the 3 items, and then Ranni's Dark Moon. But here goes the Zamor Ice Storm. It is a little bit slower. but you see that it's doing frost damage surrounding you. It is a very good effect, and it does do quite a bit of damage. And then here goes the Glintstone Crag. If you want to get a little bit of range, it's kind of like the Glintstone, but it deals frost damage. Okay, next up, now we're going to use the Moonlight Greatsword right here. So we will level this up. This kind of does distant range, so I'm not going to two-hand it. I'm going to one-hand it and just show you with R2. It does shoot that little beam out. It does frost damage. And then if you do the R1, you're getting that circular motion. You can't hit enemy like if they're to the back of you or side of you because of the way it swings. Now, if we two-hand it, when you two-hand a Greatsword, you do get increased. I think it's 50% damage increase with this. Just drink a potion, and then I'll show you R2. You want to make sure you have it powered up, so make sure you hit L2 to go ahead and boost it up. Again, you're doing that damage range on it, and then of course if you do R1, you're doing a little bit more damage. Of course, you got the jump attacks. That is R1. That's R2 right there. Now, the longsword, the reason why I have this, if I have the Carian staff equipped, frozen armament. Because the Greatsword is so slow, I have this right here. And then what I can do is I can put frost damage on it. So it's a lot faster than the Greatsword, which is really slow. You got to keep in mind I'm not in combat as well, so I'm not using up any of my stamina. If you're in combat, it will use that up, so just keep that in mind. And then next up, I have the Dragon Communion Seal, and I have this one boosted up. Now, this is where you need the 25 faith to use the Borealis Mist. This is very potent. It does deal a lot of frost damage, deals damage. So I have it at the plus 10. So if you have the Dragon Communion Seal, then the Borealis Mist is a Dragon Communion Incantation, and it will give you more damage than some of the other seals because of that. And you can see that's just dealing that heavy amount of frost damage. But basically, at my current rate, I'm able to get it off 3 times. It's a little bit slow. Actually, I could probably get it off more than that. Let me see. Oh, yeah, 3 times maximum right there. And then I have the wolves. Mine are only plus 9. You could use the mimic tier if you wanted to. But I have the wolves just because when I think of snow, frost, I think of wolves. I have a female character. I gave her like blue eyes, kind of pale skin. I gave her blue cheeks, purple lips, purple eyeshadow, and then the white hair with her. But, you know, whatever. Do whatever you want. Now, let me give you a little demo of some of this. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come to a little farming area here just so we can see some of this stuff in action. Ranni's Ranni's Dark Moon, this does a lot of damage. Like 1,700 damage, I think. On these little enemies right here. They got both of them. 1,797, almost 1,800 damage. Let's see what it does on him. May hit the rock and not do as much. Yeah, 1,797 on that. And then I will do Adula's. Let me reset this. Do Adula's Moonblade. Again, we're getting the boost with Adula's Moonblade from the hat. Whereas with Ranni's Full Moon, I'm getting 10% from the staff and 10% from the hat. You see that? How much? Look at the range on that. It's doing a lot of damage. Oh, it missed them. We'll go back and touch some grace here. All right, next up we'll do Zamor's Ice Storm. You see that right there. Did a oh didn't oh man, his vitality kept him alive with 1 HP. Shame. Now I'll use the Ice Crag, give you a demo of that, just to show you the damage that it's doing. Again, you're getting a boost from Ranni's Witch Hat right here with this. So basically two-shotting these. Now, I am on New Game Plus 3, so keep that in mind. Enemies they do have a little bit more health with it. And then the Frozen Armament right here. Whoops. So I'll do a couple different ones. We'll do a backstab. And you can see the frost damage with that. And then we'll just attack this guy right here. We'll two-hand this. Oh my god, I got run over. No big deal. We'll spawn right back. I thought I heard him. I couldn't see him. Rip. I got deleted, homie. But you get the idea for the Frozen Armament right there. Let's go ahead and collect this. Let's see. Next up, we'll do the Adula's Moonblade. So I'll go ahead and charge it. I'll do one-handed and two-handed attacks. So we'll do L2. And we'll do R2. It almost doesn't. Or excuse me. R2 and R1. Excuse me. And this would be R1. And this would be R2. Now we'll do the distance on them from range, and then I'll two-hand a couple of them. So let's go ahead and charge this up. And I'll just show you the attack here from range. Who had missed them? Deleted. So I don't even have to like really be that close to him to get the damage, but it is going over the top of them. You see that it's one-shotting them. So let me redo that, and I'll do it two-handed to show you that it does do a lot more damage with the two-hand. Of course, these are enemies that are... Let's go ahead and just recharge this. And then we'll two-hand it. AFK enemies. This is our R2 again, excuse me. Does a little bit more damage from distance. That one went over the top. I don't know if it's because they're sitting down or what. And then this is R1 right here. And I'm about to get deleted again. Let me just run back here. Touch some grace. And then last but not least, I think you guys get the idea. I guess I could do a jump attack on them one time with the two-hand. That was R1. Or L1. That's R2, excuse me. That's R1. I don't know why I keep saying L2. Full idiot. And then now we'll do the incantation. So we have two incantations that we can use, and I'll show both of them off. One of them you don't need 25 faith, but this one you do. You see the range on that. They are aggroed me, but they all have frost damage. You see the frost on them. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of fun to use. Deleted. Who knew that I was going to do a video about farming runes and call it an Ice Mage video? I think that's everything. I think we've seen everything in here with this particular build. Of course, like I said, I have the wolves here. I got 10 Cerulean Tears. Uh, as far as other things that you could use, so we'll come in here to spells and we'll just drop down. You also have the Freezing Mist, which I don't really like. It doesn't really do that much damage, but it doesn't cost that much. And then another one that you could use if you don't want to use the Borealis Mist, you also have this one. It doesn't use as much faith. You only got to have 15 faith. It is Dragon Ice. I can show that off. I'll show the mist off too. Whoops. I don't believe that the Frozen Mist, I'm pretty sure this one doesn't get a boost from the hat though. If I'm not mistaken, it doesn't, but we'll use it one time. See, it's not really doing that much. I mean, it's doing damage, but it does so little damage. Basically just freezes them. I mean, he has frost damage, so he's going to be really slow. And then let me reset it, and then I'll show you the incantation, and then we'll wrap it up right here. Of course, if you have any questions or comments, you can leave that down below. Let's go up here with the Dragon Ice. I think it's not as good as the Borealis, but still pretty good. That's why I like having the longsword with the frozen armament or the dagger. It's so much faster than that longsword. But the good thing about the long sword or the big sword is when you have strong enemies, it will totally delete them. Whereas this or the great sword, excuse me, it will totally delete them. Where this long sword just doesn't do the damage that the great sword does, you know, in my opinion. And then as far as the mix of Wondrous Physics, of course, I'm going to have the Hidden Tier and then the Magic Shrouding Crack Tier right here. But I don't really feel like these ones are as effective as they would be against, say, something like the Meteorite of Estelle, you know. So, I mean, you can put whatever you want here. But that's pretty much it right there. Ice Mage, it's fun. Give it a shot. Play around with it. You know, even if you only do, like, as an example, you're just starting out, you know, maybe like on New Game Plus or something like that, and you start out, maybe just knock out all this area right here using the Ice Mage or the Frost Mage and see how you like it, where the enemies are not as tough until you get used to playing with the build. But that's the video. I'm out. Hope you enjoyed it. Peace.